This possibly could be one of the last videos that I ever shoot in this place because I'm moving out, first of all. First and foremost, I am moving out, so I don't know, probably in the future I will make more videos from here or maybe not, who knows. But yeah, I am moving out. And I wanted to make this video about your dreams being valid. Where does this realizations about every one of your dreams being valid, whether they are superficial dreams like getting material stuff or more profound dreams like having a relationship with someone, like a deep and meaningful connection with someone, having your like community or really close friends or like human relations that you really value. Anything is just valid. Where does this realization come from? It's so simple, it's so basic that you don't even think that you need to have realizations about this, but I actually did. And all of this is why, no, all of this is because for the longest time I had this desire inside of me which I could not fulfill. I honestly could not fulfill. So I went through so many different phases and I still couldn't realize why my dream was not coming true, even though I apparently did everything right. I had realizations little by little on this subject where growing up I always heard this thing where older people around me were advising me not to get married. They were like, do not get married. And they were advising me that because they were basing that advice on their own experience, where maybe their marriages were not fulfilling, where their marriages were bothersome, and they were advising me not to get married. So as a little kid, I grew up hearing this thing. And then I had memories from my childhood coming up where I remember me talking to my cousin and telling her that I did not want to get married, and I felt proud in saying so. I felt proud in telling her that I did not want to get married or I did not want to get a partner because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to please people because of the way I grew up, by hearing the advice that I should have not get married, you know. So I wanted to please people, and I thought that by telling them that I did not want to get married, I was pleasing others, and I was in their eyes, I was such a good person. I was so independent, and I was so, you know, able to do things on my own, you know, even though I was a kid at the time. And so I have this memory of telling my cousin this thing. And then I had another memory of when I was like an elementary school kid, that I was chatting to my friends and I was telling them that I had a dream where the guy I liked confessed his love to me and I rejected that. How messed up is that? It's like I had this desire inside of me of building a deep and meaningful connection with someone, but at the same time, as I heard growing up that I should have never got married, I was carrying out my life based on the belief that I should have never got married for my own well-being, you know. On one side, there was the part of me that wanted to please others, wanted to please my family by letting everyone know that I did not want to get married. And on the other side, there was me, that I had the deepest desire, that I had this deep, profound desire to actually build something with someone. And you can probably tell that there was like a huge conflict between the two. So I had to analyze the situation, and I finally understood that at this point, with the knowledge that I have right now, I can tell myself that I can see my past. I know where I come from. I know where my beliefs come from. I can clearly see them now. I can see how my life played out based on those beliefs that sunk into my brain. I can see that. But now, with the knowledge that I have now, I choose to completely change my narrative. I am changing my narrative. Whatever people used to tell me in the past have no power over me, and now I am putting myself, my wants, my needs above anyone else. So I don't care. If I grew up with the belief that in order to please others, I have to be single, I don't care about that. The only thing I care about now is that I want to fulfill my desires. That's the most important thing ever. And desires are a means for us to become the highest version of ourselves. By having desires, I am constantly becoming a better version of myself, because in order to match that desire, I have to be that version of me. I have to embody that. I have to be the best version of myself. And by this, I don't mean that I have to be any different than who I am. So everything at the same time is so simple, because by understanding more and more, every time I understand that what I need to do is less and less. It's like getting to my core, getting to my roots and understanding them, and see how every belief I had played out in my life. And once you realize that, it's just a decision. It is just a decision where you see where you have come from. So you understand that everything that played out was built on your beliefs, or on the beliefs that someone else made you believe. Repeatedly, through repetition, made you believe. When you have this crystal clear picture of why your life played out the way it did, when everything makes sense, it's like everything just settles down. Everything is just resolved. You don't have any more work to do, because you know that the root cause was that belief you had, that you carried on for the majority of your life. What you can do at this point is take responsibility for the fact that you are changing. You are embracing change. And I wanted to title this video something like "Your dreams are valid," because it does not matter what other people are telling you. It does not matter if you have a superficial desire or a deep-rooted desire. Every desire is there to be fulfilled so that we can evolve and be the highest version of ourselves. So every dream is valid, even if people made you believe that your dreams are not valid, or there's something wrong with your beliefs, or there's something wrong with your dreams, because what you've been hearing your whole life is the opposite of your dream. It's just your choice. Your dream is valid. There's nothing wrong in you. There's nothing wrong inside of you for wanting what you want. You can allow yourself to want what you want. And you do not need to be ashamed of that. So I can say that by having the desire that I had, I was basically feeling ashamed, and I did not even realize that, because consciously I thought that I wanted what I wanted. But inside of me, as I grew up, by hearing that my dream, my wish was not valid because it was opposing what my family was telling me, of course there was a conflict there. But I couldn't see it. And I could not understand why I had adopted certain behaviors on my side. At this point, all I can say is I see where I was feeling ashamed because of my desire. I can see that, and I can also see why it was not manifesting. And although manifestation is instant, we have to get rid of everything that is limiting us to get there. Because I have experienced real fast manifestation. When there was coherence between my brain and heart, manifestation just happened so fast. And in this situation instead, I had to break down everything, each one of my belief around this subject, because without realizing it, my beliefs around a relationship were affected from a young age, and I did not even remember that. So I had to dismantle everything in order for me to get to my core and my desire, and realizing that I will not let any belief that other people installed in me limit my desire. So I can have that. I'm not a bad person. I can have that. I'm not a bad person for wanting what I want. And I can fulfill it. I can fulfill it. I allow myself to fulfill it. So as I realized this thing, I started to tell myself, as I know that everything comes from me, I started to telling myself that I allow myself to have a relationship. I allow myself to have the most profound and deep relationship. I allow myself to, because there's no one else that really needs to give myself permission. I am the one that needs to give myself permission to have that. So this is the core of it. Like basically, that's it. That's all I need to do. Just, I need to stop. I need to stop like going around the subject, and I need to just go straight to the core of it, which is I allow myself to have a relationship, no matter what people say, no matter what my beliefs used to be. Now I see that and I change that, and I allow myself to have what I want. I allow myself. So give yourself permission to have your desires. Give yourself permission to have whatever you want, and know that your dreams are valid and they are a mean for you to reach your highest self.